Hello and welcome again to this second presentation from myself. Um, I'm sure you're enjoying the session so far. So this particular presentation takes us through aspects of the ArOY Youth campaign, particularly how to choose the assessment questions, how to do the scoring, how to liaise with the overseer of the ArOY Youth campaign, and how to provide feedbacks to us. As we know, the key element of this ArOY Youth campaign is to ensure engagement, and this particular aspect helps us to, find a way to ensure this engagement. I remain Associate Professor Chrissy Federer of the Griffith University School of Medicine, Australia, also the president of the OCI Foundation. Let's look at the general aims of the ArOY Youth campaign. So this campaign has clear, specific, and realistic and achievable objectives. The overall aim were informed from empirical research and publications that were done in peer-reviewed scientific journals. So it's evidence-based. And as you already heard, it's Harvard endorsed. It was endorsed by the Harvard Medical School, United States, one of the best medical schools in the world, if not the very best. Our aims are grouped into broad aims and specific objectives. All are designed to improve and sustain engagement to the campaign's teachings and lessons. A bit of a general objective, general aims. To achieve our aims, the preventive teachings on breast and cervical cancers needs to be repeated. So repetition is a key component of this project. For each student cohort, as they go through senior secondary schools of SS1, SS2, and SS3, so they get it done in SS1, get it done in SS2, get it done in SS3. The same course is being repeated because the whole idea is that the more we do it, the more it becomes habits. And then through examinations, midterm and end of the year examinations, we intend to also ensure engagement. So it's part of the aims, part of what we hope to achieve for each group. So in SS1, in SS2, in SS3, we repeat the exams. They'll have the books in their libraries. We expect you to teach them this. They read it the way they read for their exams. This is life-saving. Now, the exam questions is expected to be included in the same question sheet as the civic education paper. So it's built into it. So the teaching is built into it, the examination is built into it, the scoring is built into it, and it contributes to the overall scores. Please, this is very important. It's not a separate paper and it's not just for fun. Now for the midterm test and exams. Now let's look at the objectives proper. So what do we hope to achieve? So broadly, we hope to increase the proportion of all senior secondary school students. This includes males and females in Nigeria who have the correct knowledge of the early symptoms, of the risk factors, and of the preventive practice of both breast and cervical cancers. So it's not just one aspect. We're looking at early symptoms, risk factors, and preventive practices. And our exams, the assessments should be designed to reflect this, which is what we're doing, is to make sure that for every exam we set, for every quiz, for every mini exam, for every midterm test, that it's expected to reflect the early symptoms, risk factors, and preventive practices. Very important, please. Specifically, our aims are we have qualitative components and quantitative components. The quantitative components have issues with individual students and with the whole schools. We're going to talk about this in a few minutes. But to achieve this is through the examinations and quizzes and midterm tests and end of term examinations. So if we do things right, then we're going to meet our objectives. A few notes here: the quantitative methods are trackable. So we intend to use it to track the performance. Are we doing well? Are we not doing well? Do we need to change some things we do? They also have measurable success metrics that can be monitored over time. And the success measures are based on tools that are already validated. So the questions and the assessments and the monitoring we're going to do have been validated in previous researches by staff associated with the OCI Foundation. And this is in peer-reviewed journals of international reputation and reach. Now let's look at the individual student metrics. What do we hope to achieve? What defines success for us? Well, we intend to have that after the first 12 months of this curriculum change, that at least 80% of all students, including males and females, would have satisfactory knowledge. 80% will have satisfactory knowledge on the risk factors, the symptoms, and the preventive practices against breast and cervical cancers. So 80% in 12 months is our target. I'm sure we can do this. Now, after 24 months, after 2 years, we expect that the numbers will be at least 90%, hopefully more than that. All right. So imagine where every young girl and every young boy in Anambra State in the next 12 months, 90% of them know what to do about breast cancer and about cervical cancer. And the second aim is that among the female-only participants, at least half of them, 50% of them, will be practicing BSCs, breast self examinations, within 12 months. There was only 6.1%, and most of them don't know it well. So we aim that 50% will be doing it monthly and doing it well. And we expect this number to go to at least 70% after 24 months. Together, we can do this. So please, if we can implement what we've been taught today and this assessment system, it doesn't help that we just teach it and not assess steps. If we don't do that, we're going to fail. So please, let's do it together. Now we have this whole school metric. So this is not just, our aim is not just on the students. We also aim for the entire schools. And this is that at least 95% of all the schools under PPSSC in Anambra State will be involved in the ArOY Youth campaign. 95%, so virtually all of them within the first 12 months. And within the next 12 months, 24 months, as in 2 years, we expect that every school in Anambra should be part of this program. For Anambra State, this will include all the schools that are officially under the PPSSC. The others hopefully can join us, but I believe that virtually all the schools are under PPSSC. So please, let's do this. And the qualitative measures, the overall plan is anchored on the fact that knowledge from ArOY Youth campaign needs to be sustained over time. If we focus only on the quantitative measures, we may not achieve the same. So the idea is that the qualitative measures helps us to fill up the gaps. So to achieve this, there will be a provision for qualitative feedbacks, and this relies on you seated here mainly. So we expect this to be delivered directly from you, the teachers, as you're there at the forefront of this. So tell us what's happening. What are we doing well? What are we not doing well? The students may give you feedback. So please get this and let us know over the years. It can also be from the school principals. So, they can give us feedbacks. Other stakeholders, the priests in with schools, the Parents Teachers Association members, PPSS, other stakeholders can please give us direct feedbacks. This feedback, the modalities for doing them can be worked out with the overseer, who's Mrs. Sabina Ndigo, who's believed here with us all today. For the quantitative measures, we expect that they'll be submitted yearly, every year, at the end of the terms for the 3 classes to Sabina. And this will be the results of the exams and assessments submitted at the end of each term. And regarding the qualitative feedbacks, we expect it to be opinions and observations. Can be submitted at any time. It doesn't have to be at the end of the year. It could be within a week, within a month, within a year. And it can be directly to the desk officer or overseer, Sabina, who I've mentioned. She's officially part of this program beyond her role as the PPSS staff. You can also note this email, info@ocifoundation.org, info@ocifoundation.org. You can take pictures, you can write it down, but please send us an email if you have any observations, something we're doing well, not doing too badly, things you need us to change, to improve, and anything at all. Feel free to talk to Sabina or to send us an email or even a text message to this phone number. Again, take a picture of it, write it down if you wish to. It's been monitored. You can send text messages or call this number if you have a feedback to make. It's important to us, please. Now, let's look at how we set questions, how we assess our students. Each test exam or quiz must be balanced, please. So it's not just focusing on the symptoms or focusing on this treatment procedures or preventive practice. We want all of them reflected in every single quiz. And must cover all aspects of both breast cancers and cervical cancers. So it's not just doing one breast cancer and leaving out the other. We want both to be assessed because we want them to know both. So setting the questions for breast cancers, we want it to cover general knowledge. We want it to cover the screening, knowledge on risk factors, on early symptoms, and on preventive practices. So we want all 5 of these covered. Now, we have a question pool which we've prepared. You would all have copies of it. Every school will have a copy of it in the library or in the teachers' rooms or wherever, but it should be accessible to the civic education teachers and to the principals. You can make photocopies if you wish to. The questions there, the pool there gives you a bit of an idea of a scope of how to go. You can pick directly from there, or you can modify it. You can all, make it change from true to false, modify the wordings, change it into open-ended questions, multiple choice questions. But please, it should cover all of this. And also that goes for cervical cancer. It must also cover the general knowledge, screening and pap smears, vaccinations and HPV, risk factors, early symptoms, and preventive practices. So every single question will have discovered in breast and discovered in cervical cancer. That's why we have at the moment true or false questions. You can just stick to that because it makes it easy. We did that to make sure it's not too troublesome for you. If you have time, maybe an exam to make it open-ended or multi-choice, you're welcome to do so. But please, do your best to make sure it covers all of this. Otherwise, we'll be losing sight of our success measures and objectives. All right, so we're going to have a breakout session now. The exercise is basically for us to draw up a sample quiz. So there are 10 groups, as we know. Each group is made of about 10 or 15 or 20 or thereabout. So each group should put together a sample exam question with what I've mentioned in mind, and then we're going to talk about it at the end of the day. So use the sample questions provided. All the pools cover all the points above. Each school will have one, like we said, but can be photocopied, can be stored as appropriate. It's a guide only and can be modified by the school teacher or the school principal. It's currently true or false, but it can be changed to multiple choice questions. It can be made to open-ended or complete blanks. It can be a short essay question. It's designed to lessen your workload. So you can lift directly from there. There are lots, hundreds of questions there. So you can lift directly from there. If we have the time and energy, we can change it. But by all means, let it reflect everything for breast cancer and everything for cervical cancer. You don't need to add more because we don't want the numbers, the statistics as to number of people that get cancer and all that to be, or number of African countries with cervical cancer plans or programs. We don't want distractions. We want the students to focus on what matters. It doesn't matter if they all pass it. What matters is that they all know it. So please, let's focus on this. This is the end of the presentation. I hope we've all enjoyed it. Again, a gentle reminder that we must arm our youths, must arm them while they are young. We must arm all of them, and we must arm them all right now. Thank you very much for listening to this presentation, and thank you very much for being part of this program, and thank you very much for being worthy ambassadors of this program, of this campaign. Thank you all.